So gas isn't the only thing getting more expensive. As pandemic pricing comes to a close, rents are rising nationwide. According to Rent.com, people in at least 5 cities are paying $1,000 more in rent than they were a year ago. So here to explain more about how we got here is Senior Managing Editor at Rent.com, Brian Carberry. Brian, thanks for joining us. Listen, you know, the Fed raised interest rates a bit, but before that, interest rates were really low. And usually one of the side effects is that rent's low as well. But after the pandemic started to lift, that didn't happen. So how did we get here?
Yeah, good morning. You're right. Really, interest rates were very low, but rents were kind of going in the opposite direction, at least right now. Excuse me. So really what we were seeing during the pandemic was rent prices were relatively flat, really much everywhere across the country. It really wasn't until the end of this past summer that rent prices really started to take off to see some of these double-digit increases that we've been seeing nationwide. Right now, we're seeing about a 26% increase for 1- and 2-bedroom apartments across the country. And there are a lot of markets really everywhere that are seeing increases a lot higher. And you mentioned there are 5 cities right now that we found that rent prices for an average apartment is up $1,000 compared to what people were paying last year. You know, some of these are rent increases of 50% like in Jersey City or 28% in New York City. But then when you look at a place like Austin, Texas, you're seeing rent prices up 81% compared to this time last year, which is a significant increase for a lot of people looking to find a place to live.
Okay, so then why? What are the factors, and are they the same across the country?
You know, there's a lot of different factors in different markets that are kind of contributing to different markets kind of rebounding from the pandemic in different ways. But really, we point to kind of a supply and demand thing. Demand for apartments right now are just through the roof. People are being priced out of buying a home, especially your younger millennials, your older Gen Zers are being forced to return to renting a little bit longer. They're not able to afford that down payment or just don't feel comfortable paying the amount that's being asked right now for new homes. So you're just having a lot more people on that renter market, and inventory levels are so low. Since not a lot of people are buying homes, as many as people as they normally would be, you're just not seeing a lot of available properties, and the properties that are available tend to be the ones that are a little bit more pricey. People are going to try to snatch up these affordable units, and then what's left on the market is just going to bring up that average.
And then, you know, there's a trickle-down effect, because if you normally maybe rent a 2-bedroom, maybe you're going to rent a 1-bedroom and maybe a bachelor, which means that the people at the bottom who can afford the least are the ones that are probably paying the most in terms of percentage of their income. So what can we do? You know, are there any protections for renters out there that they should be aware of?
You know, certain states and certain areas will have rent stability or rent control measures in place, but that really is city by city. So the best thing you really can do is just understand the laws in your area and really work to figure out what's going to work within your budget. You know, the traditional, rule of thumb, if you will, has always been spend 30% of your pre-tax income on your rent, which is not as realistic right now and kind of where we're seeing rent prices going. So really, people just need to understand what is going to work for them. What's going to work for one renter isn't necessarily going to work to another. You know, try to negotiate with a landlord if possible. Not all landlords are going to play ball right now because of this demand. You know, there's a lot of competition. But one thing that you really could try that we are seeing working in some cases, especially in downtown areas or crowded cities, is if your unit comes with a parking space and parking's at a premium and you don't have a car, you don't need a car, gas prices are through the roof, you may not want to drive, see if you can negotiate that parking spot back, because that's an amenity that a lot of people are looking for, and you may be willing to get a little slight break on your rent to give that amenity back to your landlord that they can then market to someone else.
Oh, that's such a creative and great idea. Brian Carberry, thank you so much.
Thank you.